Hello, I'm Amber at the Alderwood Mall in front of the wall, and I've got coffee on the brain. Today's question, what is crema? There are three important elements. The most important is CO2. CO2 is created during roasting, and from the moment you take your beans out of the roaster, it starts to dissipate. Initially, the beans are going to be so full of the gas that if you try to pull a shot with them, you'll have a foamy mess. So generally, coffee that's roasted for espresso is allowed to degas for a couple days before use. However, the essential gas is always escaping from your beans, so there is a limited time frame that you want to use them within, and that's usually 2 to 3 weeks. The next important element of crema is pressure. Normal atmospheric pressure isn't quite enough to dissolve all of the soluble solids in coffee. So we need quite a bit of pressure to get not just crema, but the thick syrupy body of an espresso. A normal semi-automatic espresso machine runs at about 9 bars of pressure, which is just over 130 psi. That's enough to dissolve all of the oils and sugars and become super saturated with CO2 and create the thousands of microscopic bubbles that are your crema. The last important element that you need is something to stabilize your bubbles, melanoidins. Melanoidins are a byproduct of the Maillard reaction that occurs during roasting and gives your beans that nice rich brown color. And they're hydrophobic, like chia seeds. So in an attempt to stay away from your liquid espresso, they wrap themselves around your CO2 bubbles and give them some extra defense. Your bubbles do eventually pop because the heavy oils that are also in espresso start to weigh your melanoidins down and weaken your bubbles. So in terms of getting great crema, something to consider would be the amount of oil that's in your coffee bean. If you're really looking for the best crema and best appearance in your shot of espresso, you can try something like Lavazza's Crema e Gusto that is 70% Robusta beans. Robusta beans have about half the aromatic oils that Arabica beans do. So that's likely why they have such heavy, long-lasting crema. Some Arabica beans that I've experimented with that I have had great success with crema and really enjoy the taste of would be Umbria's Gusto Crema, Tony's Ganesha Espresso, and Batdorf and Bronson's Whirling Dervish blend. So the reason I chose these coffees is because my personal theory would be that darker roasted beans, supposing they're fresh and well stored, would have better crema because they've been roasted so long that some of the oils will have had a chance to evaporate, versus a lighter roasted coffee that'll still have a lot of those oils left in it. One final note, storage is very important to making sure you have a good crema for the entire life of your beans. Something like an air scrape is great for keeping your beans fresh. So this has been Coffee on the Brain with Amber, and I'll see you next week.